Hey everybody, welcome back to Paranormal Scotland. My name is Sam. I'm your host and I am delighted that you've tuned in. You can see I'm standing here by the sea. It's a chilly, breezy autumn day and I hope that you'll be able to hear me over the wind and over the sea. But I've got just a few more things while I'm still here in Scotland to be able to share with you. And I wanted to talk about the ocean. First of all, I love it. I've lived in Scotland 17 years of my adult life, and I lived for 5 years in Florida. I lived for 5 years in Maine. So I've been very fortunate to live near the ocean a lot of my adult life, and I absolutely love it. I remember when I lived here a long time ago that how men would stand on the above the harbor on the walls looking out over the ocean, and they would watch all the activity going on at the harbor, and it was fascinating to watch them, fascinating to talk to them. You see, Bucky has been a fishing village since the 1500s, and fishing was every part of this city, of this town. It's not so much that way anymore. I'm not going to go into all the political stuff. That's not why we're here. But there is still some fishing. There are still fishing processing places. There are still boats. There are still boat repair places. So fishing is still very much ingrained in our culture here. But these men, these older men, would stand with their grandchildren above the harbor, looking out over it, and they would tell the stories of what it was like when they were young and they were in the fishing industry, and they looked back with longing, and their grandson stood with them, looking out, looking forward to the day when they could join the family business, when they could be a part of the adventure that is called the sea. And I've always found that interesting because the sea terrifies me. The sea attracts men like a magnet, and it devours them like a lion. I'm always afraid when I'm out in the water. I have never gone scuba diving. I've gone snorkeling, but I haven't tried scuba diving, not because I think I can't, but because of what I might see. I am terrified of the things that are under the ocean. It's just me. And I love watching people scuba dive. I love watching videos on YouTube about people scuba diving or spearfishing or whatever they're doing, but not me. No, 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 no. I've seen Shark Week. But the sea is attractive to all of us. We all love to go to the beach, make sandcastles, maybe go on a cruise, and we love sunning ourselves. We just love walking our dogs on the beach. Everything about the sea is something that we find attractive, and yet it's so mysterious. There is so much unknown out there, and the sea and life on the sea has produced so much paranormal legend, so many paranormal stories. I mean, the sea is what gives us the stories of the sirens and how their magical music would attract men to their deaths. Or how about mermen, merwomen, merpeople, whatever you want to call them, and and all of those legends. People look for them, people don't find them, but their stories are a part of our history. And oh, of course, the Kraken. Who doesn't worry about a sea monster coming up to attack your cruise ship when you're in the Caribbean or in the Mediterranean? But But all of these things are mysterious, and they make us wonder, they make us ask questions. But the Bible contributes to it. The 41st chapter of the book of Job, God describes to Job a creature that the Bible just calls Leviathan. And the Bible treats it as if it's real. And it describes a literal sea monster. But as you read more closely, it also describes the traditional dragon. Here's a creature that lives in the ocean, that keeps the seawater stirred up, but it breathes fire. It has an impenetrable armor. It can fly. It is the quintessential dragon. And yet, like I said, the Bible treats it as if it's absolutely 100% a real life creature. Now, interestingly enough, in chapter 40, God also describes a creature to Job that sounds very much like a brontosaurus or a brachiosaurus. And we certainly know from the fossil record that those were real creatures. So, what about the Leviathan? Every culture, certainly from China all across Asia and Europe all the way here to Great Britain, is filled with legends and stories and traditions of dragons. In fact, even today, the crest for the country of Wales is a dragon. Are they real? Were they real? Are they merely paranormal? Or are they just the invention of people's imagination? These are things that I want you to, that I would love for you to think about. The Bible treats them as real, but do they still exist? Are out there over my shoulder in some uncharted island, or in the Mediterranean, or in the Pacific, or somewhere we haven't yet ventured? Are there dragons? Are there sea monsters? Were they ever real? Or were they paranormal? Were they real creatures from another dimension who from time to time found their way into our world? I know this. The Bible treats them as if they were real. I take the Bible seriously. I don't know whether they still exist. I don't know whether they're paranormal, but it makes me wonder. And maybe it will give you something to think about next time you're on the beach building a sandcastle. Have a great day. Paranormal Scotland.